Listen, I can tell you right now, I was living a fantasy with what you just told me.
Hi, Gea.
Hi.
Or should I start the podcast? The podcast Blazing Mike as welcome, my amazing people.
We're not starting, right?
Yes, we are.
So dumb.
Hi, Gea.
Hi, Leticia.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good. Welcome to Blazing Mike.
Love it.
Do you like it?
I love everything about it. So blazing, smoky.
Hot.
Like the host, Leticia.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. So no, I'm being serious now. So we are here today. The first episode of Blazing Mike. Of course, I wanted to do with you. Sorry, Jeremy, but I wanted to do with you.
That's special.
We did record one though with Jeremy.
This is the second take.
This is the second take, but we did like us three.
He took too much my thunder, so
no, I think I messed up a little bit the recording, but
he
it's
never
okay.
let me talk.
So Blazing Mike is pretty much just bringing everyone from Pod Media Lab to collaborate in one podcast, because that's what I said in the other event that we had. Like, we do what we preach, right? So like,
absolutely,
Pod Media is supposed to have a podcast, so here I am, Blazing Mike, with other hosts.
Yes, I love it. It's like the same analogy as a trainer that he's fat, or a hairdresser that her hair is a mess, So there has to be a podcast, whole entire show for Pop Media Lab that has created so many amazing shows.
I agree. And the first one that Pop Media had, because the backstory a little bit, let's share a little bit about that, because I think that's important. A lot of people don't know. I mean, everyone that we talk, they know because we always share.
It's our never-ending story.
It's a never-ending. So Pod Media Lab started, I think, like a couple years ago. If you don't know, I work full-time for Gea. But also, it was like I started working with you 2 years ago. And we were recording a video for social media, personal page. And you just told me, I kind of see myself doing that red top kind of thing.
Yes.
And I was like, why not a podcast, right? And then you said, I love the idea.
No, then she gave me a whole entire hustle, business proposal. I'm like, look at you hustling me already.
Yeah.
My question is though, but do you had the company was not open, or was open? Or was open after I said the idea of having a podcast? You already had the company opened?
No, I think, well, I gave you the idea,
yes,
but I had no idea how I was going to make it work.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
We never talked about that.
Yeah, no, I had no idea how we make work. Like, for some reason, I just said it because I went back to Brazil during the pandemic, and I was like, I need to find something to do, and why not a podcast? So before I went back to Brazil, I bought a mic, like the cheapest mic that you can find at Best Buy. So I went and I bought it, and I took it with me in Brazil. So then I bought like a course online that I could learn how to make a podcast. Have you heard of Udemy? Udemy?
No idea.
Excuse my accent. But anyways, it's a place that you buy like courses. So I bought a podcast course, and I wanted to do it in my room, because there was no other space in my house. And then I asked my dad, like, hey dad, can you help me do like a short like studio inside my closet, which like it's literally like a box. Okay, it's not a closet that we see in the United States. It's a
little box.
A little box. So then we went, and like those things that you put like eggs. Like you put eggs inside. It's kind of like, it's a foam. It's a foam.
It's like it's carton. It's like yeah, I know what you mean. Like in our countries, it's like that. It's not a regular carton here. Like it's so fancy plastic or foam. It's the one that is made out of paper, like compressed paper, and it's great, right?
Yeah, but it's a foam but in Brazil we call like egg cage or something like that. It's like ovo, coisa de ovo, alguma coisa.
So your dad used that?
So then we got some, we cut it and we put it like we glue into the 4 side or the 3 sides of the closet, and the other one was the door, which I would set up my computer and then I would interview people. And anyways, I just like, it was the coolest thing ever. I was so proud of it.
Side note, if my daughter ever tells me to change anything in the wall and add some egg carton for whatever nonsense, heck no. Your dad is like the best dad ever. I would never do a nonsense like that in a closet, for God's sake.
I mean, he supports my craziness, right? So.
I can see. Yeah.
So my mom didn't really like the idea, but she would never go to my room anyway, so. And then I started recording podcasts and learned how to do it. But when I gave you the idea, I was like, man, how am I going to do it? Because I used to do like so not professional. I would just have like this USB like mic into the computer in a software that it was free. It was just like not very professional, like, but it would get the job done, right? But here, the fact was that I wanted to do as a video as well, so we could use for social media. But I had no idea how to do the audio part, which is the most crucial in a podcast, is the audio.
Actually, it's funny because seriously, we have never talked about this detail. In my mind, I thought that you had the company running for several months and you were doing everything, you know, like all the legality and everything. She knows what she's doing. And oh my God, I hired somebody. This is news to me. Are you pranking me?
No, it's serious. I had no idea. And then it happened that, you know, I had a friend that was married to a guy that knew sound engineering and everything kind of like we open and then we were like, oh, let's collaborate on that. So then we started doing it for you, and then Jeremy wanted a podcast. But it was funny because we always say like my best ideas are always in the shower, right? So one day I had proposed that to you already. And I said, you know, give me, I don't know, like a couple of days.
You said, give me a couple, I think you asked for a couple of weeks or so, or something like that. You said, give me some time so I can bring it to you.
Yeah. That being said, I had no idea how to do it. So I was thinking that time, right? How I was going to make it work.
Bro, you have no idea, Leticia. Look what you just made.
Yeah. So then one time when I was going in the shower and I was thinking about the podcast, like, man, how am I going to make it work for Gea? Because I really wanted it to do it because it was something, I don't know, that would be a fun project, right? So then I got in the shower and I was like, she has an accent and, you know, it's always something around those lines. And it just came to my mind, like, as a sassy, like, I barely knew you, though. It was like, I think I was working for you for, like, a month. I barely knew you.
Less than a month, yeah. It was around there.
So I feel like, I was like, man, I feel like G's kind of like, sassy, you know, in a way.
Wow.
So then
God really gave you the whole entire creativity, let me tell you.
Yeah, so then I got in the shower and I was like, I got an accent, so what? Wow. And it became your whole show.
I cannot believe this, yo. Oh my God.
You didn't know that, right?
No, I did not know that part. I'm being scammed.
No.
It worked.
I made it work. I just had the idea first.
Do you remember one time? I do not forget this time. Fast forward a couple more months after that. We were having meetings and everything, like a whole entire corporation. Because that's one thing you know, that we would meet like legit with Jeremy and everything. And I remember you had a concern about something that we were missing. And just thinking right now what I told you that time that I never forgot about it is exactly what you did. And I said, you will never have everything figured out. You have to throw it yourself and God will provide the way. You freaking just figured it out, Leticia.
Yeah, and it became a whole company.
Now I understand why you have so much stress around that time.
Yeah.
My goodness,
And
guys.
on top of that, I was brand new at JG too.
Yes.
I was like figuring out. It was my first, like, not my first real job because I had before, but it was like I had internships before, but it was my real like first job after getting my master's. And I was like, like brand new in Florida too. Like everything was just.
You're the epiphany of fake it until you make it. Because I remember I used to be so frustrated because Leticia was so shy. It was not that shy because I know she wasn't shy, but I will ask her a question and I will try to get in your head, and you would not allow me in. And I'm like, why can't I break this girl down? Everybody that I talk to, I'm boom, 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 boom. With her, I can, but now I know why. You have so much stuff in your head that had to work.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's how the company started. And with that, I Got an Accent. So what started as well, because you were the first show.
That was the guinea pig.
Yeah. And I'm telling you how much we have evolved since then. But I Got an Accent. So what? I always tell you, because it's been like the most pleasure project for me, because I can relate with that so much. Mm-hmm. Even though I don't have an accent, I can relate.
Yeah.
So tell me about your show. Like how did you feel the first, I don't know, episodes that we did?
Listen, I can tell you right now, I was living a fantasy. With what you just told me. First of all, it was a disaster for me because it took such a long time for me to get used to do the format correctly. How I felt that, it should be. The first one, it was long and it was disastrous. Remember me? I would never know how to finish. Like I'll be going around and around and around saying of who the heck Gea was. But it was such a lesson that I needed to experience, and I guess now was mutual.
Yeah.
The experiences to know how I needed to be or where we wanted to take it. I remember every episode I would feel insecure of things that I said and how I said it. I should have asked this. But I got to the point to actually, even though I felt uncomfortable, I loved it. And I knew that I needed to persist on it. And the time that I will have doubt is when I will stay for a long time without recording, because we had other things in the middle until you found a plan. Like, yeah, we cannot stop recording because, it's like anything, if you stop going to the gym, you're like, oh, I don't want to go, maybe here and there. But the more you do it, the more, you perfect it, and the more you fall in love with the vision. So I fell in love with the vision from the beginning. I loved everything about it, that I was having a space that I can talk who Gea is and all my struggles and all the things, and bring different topic. And if you see the first episode, the first episode in the whole entire season, it was different people from different walk of life with everything. I was trying to find my rhythm, my identity. I know who I am, but as the show, and it's been a beautiful venture that now season 3, we got to the final destination, and it's just such a beautiful journey that I would not change it for anything. But what I'm most honored and definitely given the blessing is that God have given me is that put you in my path to actually push me to do that. That thank God you never told me this from the beginning. I would have never made it this far, because in my head, this woman knows what she was doing with so many shows. It's not that you don't know, because you study for it and you've done it and you did it yourself. But that was the first one in everything. And to see where it went at that time and where it is right now, it's just, I definitely know that it's a purposeful company. Not only my whole entire show, many other shows that we've seen grown and develop to amazing ideas and amazing purposes that each host have.
Yeah, and I Got an Accent. It started like as you interviewing people and telling their story, and sharing yours as well. And I interviewed you a few times too, so that was fun to share your story. And now it just became like a whole, like it just went to a whole different level, which I'm so excited for, because it's something that since we started talking more and you started teaching me more about faith, it just has been like a total revamped with I Got an Accent. So what is the most like joyful part, like the process of finding your niche? Because that's what we did though. Because I Got an Accent started as empowerment, women and everything like that.
and different things, also as a comical kind of thing. Then it started, a second season was like, you know, interviewing couples working together, but I still didn't feel my niche or what I needed to speak until the video went viral. And then I was like, and it's funny because even though then finding out, I still feel doubts. I felt doubt. Oh my gosh, should I really go this route? And funny enough, you have been a very important component, key in this whole entire thing, because you have given me the confidence. I think it should be this, Gea. And I was talking about it when we're like, your whole entire videos on faith and motivating people and finding purpose, you know, look at what the audience wants to see. It wasn't what I wanted, but what the audience wants to see and what they want to feel. And that's why I'm like, this is what God wants me to do. So I'm just going to trust the process. So even more now that I know how everything started, it's just now I know that, you know, Pop Media Lab has an amazing purpose in this whole entire community as a podcast, never been before, and doing something different. And Blazing Mike, it's that, what is it? That whole entire umbrella of what Pop Media Lab does. So
yeah, and I'm very excited for that. But you said something about the video that went viral. Let's hear a little bit of the backstory of it. Okay, so
you love to talk about that.
No, it's because I think it's amazing, because it's something that you were so scared of, and that's something that a lot of people identified it with, because it was your story, and also people just wanted to get your advice, right? So tell me about the video.
It's funny because actually I was looking at this post Facebook on Josie, that Josie, which is one of the girls that I interviewed the first season, that she has a studio, you know, for pole dancing and silk and all that. And she said something that I was not aware of, and it was called the imposter syndrome. And I was like, what is this? And when she described what it is, I was like, oh my God, I've been always suffering from this, to the point that I know I have the knowledge and I have everything that I do regularly and everything that I do in business. But I thought that in any advice, I needed to have a degree. When then one day I was like, my life story is what I experience above any degree. You know, because you can have the theory, but the practice is a whole different level. It's very different to be a surgeon, a brain surgeon, and get all the books until you are on that field, you know, doing the surgery. So the whole entire video was not planned. And you know that it wasn't planned, because the only guest that Leticia put in my calendar, you know, for me to do an interview is a Brazilian beautiful girl, Jara. Kisses to her. Jada came to the interview. She had an amazing story of survivorship. And then she started talking about, you know, her transition from coming to Brazil and her previous relationship. And something hit on me, you know, that it reminded me of me and Jeremy were boyfriend and girlfriend, and our whole entire like young beginnings. And I was like, you know what? At that moment, I had like a little enlightenment. And I'm like, you know, Jada, a lot of people ask me, what is our success? And then I'm not going to lie to you. A lot of things that comes to me and God uses me, it's not really me. He really put this word. And when I'm done, sometimes I even forget what I said, but I know it was from him. And when I said the true success I'd had is because me and Jeremy were obedient, and it had to do about the abstinence part, which is something that it's private, it's vulnerable, and it's not, I don't have a speakerphone there telling everybody I got married virgin, but it was not common, and people can't understand those things when they're not common. So all of a sudden I just said it, And then I was like, oh crap. I remember after we recorded, I'm like, oh, Leticia, they're going to murder me. But oh, well, it was from my heart. And I felt confirmation that I was okay. But doing the opposite that what I thought. Yes, I had some people that were like, oh, this or blah, blah, blah. It still was very minimum to the amount of support and love that people were giving me back. There were so many women reaching out that are being where I used to be 20 years ago, and that they were doubting everything that they used to, that they're doing. And I was like, oh, wow. Then I felt like I became that beacon of bringing that to an awareness. And I was being, giving more love back. Thank you so much for sharing this. This means the world to me because it's my story. But besides the view that was $1.1 million, 1.1 views, amazing. It feels good. It feels great. But it's the amount of interaction with people around the world. I have people from Africa. I have people from Asia. I have people everywhere that reached out. And then it's just, I felt like, wow, this is something that I was hiding for such a long time that I don't need to do. And the rest is being history.
And my follow-up question for you is, how did you feel with all these people reaching out to you to ask for advice? And
it was really overwhelming at first because it was from every aspect. It was from TikTok, it was from Instagram, it was from YouTube. So I remember even Jeremy helping me write some there, because it was a lot of concern. It was not like, oh, hey, amazing. There were people telling me their whole story, not only their struggle, but very sad stories too. Women that, especially, they did marry abstinence and virgin and didn't go very well, and they were actually asking me what was the difference, So it was very overwhelming, the amount of comments, because it was not even comment like, oh my God, this is amazing, you're talking to me. Yeah, it was a lot of that, but it was a lot of people asking questions and advice. And for me, the first challenge is the typing.
Yeah.
You know me?
Yeah, I know. You have a hard time typing for some reason.
It's just because my head goes faster than what I can type. So it get a little overwhelming. But I knew that I had to reach to every single one of them. And I did. I reached, and there was a lot of women that were saying, listen, I did marry virgin too. It didn't go as well for you. So then people feel like they can not even judge you, but also say why it worked for you and not for me. And at the end of the day, I had to remind people, guy, whether it's virgin or not virgin, the whole entire episode is about obedience. Mm-hmm. And my obedience, which it was on that aspect, for somebody else, it might be something else. It might be alcohol. It might be, abstinence of substance and things that are, robbing your joy. So for me, I didn't want people to just forget the message that was about being obedient and follow God's plan for me. And that was the plan that he put for me in my heart, and I follow it. So I was just being, an awareness and bringing awareness on my story and what it was, but it became something bigger for me because I was just literally advising everybody like if I was like a psychologist. Mm-hmm. And I was being able to analyze the story and what happened. And actually there was somebody that said, oh, I did that 2 times. And the 2 of the guys, they were even in church and they were in jail. And I'm like, right there, then I'm like, well, honey, whether it was that one, you give it to the wrong person, first of all. The issue is that probably not them, it's you, that you have an issue analyzing who's the right person that needs to be in your life. So I wanted to take it to, guys, it's just, what is the context on all that, But it was a beautiful lesson and journey that I loved it.
Yeah, it was really awesome because it was something that you were so scared about happening, that people would judge you. So now with season 3 of I Got an Accent, So What? Where do you see the show going? And I know we changed so many things about it and the main topic. and now you're interviewing people and reading letters and telling their story, but also including Bible verse and faith and everything there. Where do you see I Got an Accent going?
I see it. There's a word that talks about, I forget right now because me with my accent, I cannot think about a word, pero se dice, like getting on, like really, the whole entire video that went viral, it actually gave me a clear path of what the purpose of the show really is, what God wants me to do and be. And that's what my purpose is. And it has to be with obedience. I don't know where it's heading, that I can tell you. Only God knows the magnitude that is going to become if I Got an Accent. But I have a clear path of what I want in every episode, which is bring light and is bring healing to people that are suffering, people that they don't see other way out, and bring my perspective and spirituality and what it's important to add God into our life, into our center, into our atmosphere, into everything, right? There's a lot of people that don't put that into consideration. And to me, is the number one thing that I add into my life, into my business, into my marriage, into my show. So all I'm doing is open the space and the platform for people that want to bring the story, and then I can analyze and see, wow, because it's not only one way highway. There's so many stories that speak to me that I'm like, wow, I need to change this, or maybe I need to communicate a little better in this aspect, where we both, the me as a host and the guests, that I'm learning from them and vice versa. So it's a vulnerable space that both are learning into bring light to others that are watching out there,
Yeah, and I'm so excited for I Got an Accent, and this season is just it's been amazing already,
Yeah.
and I'm just looking forward to everyone that comes to the show, because I think the first one was me and you talking about Monica's letter.
Yes.
And then, God is just bringing people to you, and seeing that, it has been the most incredible process, because we were worried about where was coming the letter from. So do your plug in before we finish,
guys. The letters are beautiful. If you want to write to the show and I Got an Accent, so what? I Got an Accent. Not so what? I Got an Accent at gmail.com.
I Got an Accent, so what? At gmail.com.
You see, I was missing that part. But if you go to Instagram and you go to I Got an Accent, you can definitely go to my link tree and send those letters. You don't have to put your name. It can be anonymous. I don't have to know who you are. One of the guests, two of the next two episode, they want to be an interview, and one of them was reading the letter, which is coming next week. I can't wait for that. But the one thing I can tell you that I know that I'm the right path is because every of those episodes, it gets more and more intense. I doubt myself 200% of the time. But that's when I know that God is doing his work that has nothing to do with me. I'm just a vehicle. I'm just the instrument. And that's what is so exciting about. Like this last one that we recorded, I was like, oof, this is going to bring so much. But when you know that you have to do something, whether the heat is going to come to you, but you have to do it, that creates emotion and that traction that is only going to go ahead. It's not going to go back. It's only going to be moving forward. And that's what it's so exciting about I Got an Accent, so what? That it started one way, but it have gone so traction into a different way. But it's because I'm trusting my creator, my Lord, to guide me to the reason and the people that really need to hear those stories.
I love that. And I'm so excited. Thank you for sharing a little bit. Go check it out. I Got an Accent, so what podcast on our platform, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Please, anything that you guys want to, well, obviously put comments and review and rate. But for those letters and those people that are interested in writing to the show, it can be anonymous. You can put your name, whatever makes you comfortable. Or if you even want to come to the show, I would love to interview you, because, trust your story. What I love about it, that even it's the vulnerability about it, is that you become human. And there's a word from the Bible that says the truth will set you free.
right? And that is the power of saying the truth how it is. And a lot of things that are in darkness, you're not healing from it. You're just keeping it in the dark. But when you bring it to the light, it brings a whole entire motion of healing, impacting, that you can move forward to that. And that's what I want the show to be. So whether it's a letter, whether you want to come and me interview you, whatever it is, but I will definitely love to hear struggles, questions, everyday struggle that we as human have. That is normal, and we tend in society just tell us to hide it or paint it over, and there's beauty in being genuine. There's beauty in being natural.
Naturality.
I'm like starting to embrace that with this,
Well, it's funny because we were doing the first episode and you're like, girl, you're supposed to help me. You're not speaking. I was like, yeah, like whenever we talk, I can never speak because I pay so attention. And that's something that you have a lot of power on, is the power of words. And whenever you speak, everyone's paying attention. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad I got into your path and God put me in Florida and here. Amen. Because I have learned a lot and you have taught me so much too. And every time we speak, it's like hours. And
literally.
And I'm just like listening, right? But thank you for coming and to Blazing Mike.
Thank you for bringing the biggest idea ever, and I'm honored to be the first guinea pig, and I don't regret it at all. And for being the first one also on Blazing Mike. Jeremy, take a ticket. You're next.
Thank you, Gea.
Thank you.